Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat, and you might be wondering why I'm in bibs and foul weather gear. Well, it's time to pack up the surf rods and move on to either winter hibernation, or if you're like me, we're going on the boat. We're going blackfishing. It's the winter, let's go. But today's Open Boat, I want to talk about a little fall run shutdown for the season, some tips and tricks to prep your gear for the spring run. Starting off with proper storage. Never want to leave your stuff just like thrown in the back of your truck or in a storage bin. With my waders and stuff, I hang them up so they can air out and everything. And another important thing with the winter is checking your waders for leaks. If you suspect during the fall run season you have a leak in your waders, my favorite way to find them is, you can usually pinpoint where the leak is based off of where your sweatpants are wet. But you take a flashlight and you put them on the inside of your waders and you shine out, and you can usually find that little pinhole leak. So patch your waders for the winter season. Let them just sit somewhere and hang out, and they're good to go for the spring. Moving on to your rods and reels. During the winter, it's really good to check your rods guides for any potential cracks in that ceramic ring. You do not want to be losing your plugs during the spring on your first cast, especially when there's bunker around and you're throwing those big, expensive custom metal lips. So you can take an X-Acto knife or a blade of any kind and just run it on the inside of the guide itself. And if it catches, then you have a chipped guide. And same thing with reels. If you can repair it yourself, that's great. Always service your reels. Make sure you know what you're doing. There's tons of videos online and blueprints you can follow, but if you don't, rod and reel repairs. A lot of local tackle shops will service your rod and reels for you. So get those in to your local tackle shops sooner than later so you can have your gear back for the spring run season. Now, with your plugs, if you have a lot of old reliable plugs that you fish in the fall and also in the spring, you're gonna wanna check them out. Check their hooks, make sure the hooks are still good. Even if there's like a little bit of rust on them, I'll literally swap out my hooks. Check the eyelets and everything, make sure there's no cracks in the plug itself. You can always hopefully replace it for the spring, but just make sure everything is good to go. And last but not least, one thing I like to do when I don't need to service a reel is when my rods are just laid back here for storage, loosen your drag. A lot of people will leave their drag tight on a reel, and for that reel to be sitting like that for such a long time, like months, it can really just, imagine if you constantly grit it down on your teeth like this, and you did that for months on end. That's gonna screw up your entire face. It's gonna hurt and everything. So that's what your reel on tight drag is doing, just sitting there, not putting in its work. So loosen the drag, let it chill out, relax your face. Don't have it super duper tight when it's not in use. But remember, for the spring run, when you go out, tighten your drag so you don't lose a fish. Always remember to do that. That's very important. So yeah, those are just some quick little tips for the fall run shutdown, prepping for the spring. So hopefully you guys all had a really good fall run season. I know it wasn't as, picturesque as we always want it to be. There was a lot of trial and error and finicky bites, but we made it work. So keep an eye out for the Surfcasters challenge too. If you guys participated, I just released one where it's your favorite lure. So if you have a lure or a fish you caught this past season or even the season beforehand, I don't mind, that you caught on your favorite lure, go back in your camera roll and shoot me an email and send it to me to be featured. Those are gonna be coming up. And I look forward to future open boats in the new year. Happy New Year also, everyone. And Merry Christmas. Open boats in the future are gonna be great. We've been trucking along here. This is the second New Year's Eve message I sent to you guys for open boat. So thank you guys all for watching and leaving comments and emailing me and telling me at the shows, what you like, everything like that. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the show season, or maybe you'll see me out there blackfishing. I know I'm gonna be doing a lot of that in the coming months. So I'll see you guys. Prep up for the winter, get ready for hibernation if you're not fishing, and let's get ready for some spring run fishing. I'll see you guys on next week's Open Boat.